This is Nightline, and I'm Liyana Hassanel, news making the headlines. Bank Negara Malaysia unveils new measures to strengthen safeguards against financial scams. And PAC to summon Home Finance Ministry's MMEA over petrol vessels delay. Good morning. Bank Negara Malaysia BNM has announced 5 additional security measures to be taken by financial institutions in a bid to strengthen safeguards against financial scams, especially online ones. Among them is requiring financial institutions to migrate from SMS one-time passwords, OTP, to more secure forms of authentication for online activities or transactions, such as account opening, fund transfers, and payments. According to BNM Governor Tan Sri Nur Syamsiah Muhammad Yunus, the modus operandi used by criminals will continue to evolve. Therefore, the central bank is continuously intensifying efforts and taking steps to combat scams by introducing additional controls and safeguards from time to time. She added that another security measure introduced was requiring financial institutions to further tighten fraud detection rules and triggers for blocking suspected scam transactions until customers have confirmed whether such transactions were genuine or otherwise.
Ketiga, tempoh bertenang atau cooling off period untuk pendaftaran kali pertama bagi perkhidmatan perbankan dalam talian atau peranti yang selamat atau secure device akan dilaksanakan. Semasa tempoh ini, sebarang aktiviti perbankan dalam talian tidak akan dibenarkan. Keempat, pelanggan akan dihadkan kepada hanya satu peranti mudah alih atau peranti selamat atau secure device untuk pengesahan transaksi perbankan dalam talian.
Tan Sri Nur Syamsiah said this at the launch of the virtual financial crime exhibition, which was jointly officiated by her and Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Sani Abdullah Sani on Monday. She also said that financial institutions will be required to set up dedicated hotlines for customers to report financial scam incidents. They have also been directed to be more responsive to scam reports lodged by customers and facilitate efforts to recover and protect stolen funds, including to work with relevant agencies to prevent further losses. Meanwhile, Tan Sri Sani revealed a total of 12,092 online fraud cases, with losses amounting to 414.8 million ringgit were reported from January to July this year. The top cop said that cyber fraud was on the rising trend in Malaysia. From 2019 to July 2022, a total of 33,147 suspects had been arrested, with 22,196 cases charged in court.
Kelicikan penjenayah cyber mengeksploit perubahan teknologi dan kreatif menjerat mangsa dengan pelbagai modus operandi yang baru serta kesedaran masyarakat mengenai jenayah cyber yang masih berada pada tahap yang sederhana dikenal pasti antara punca peningkatan kes jenayah tersebut.
Based on cases managed by the Bukit Aman Commercial Crime Investigation Department, CCID, there were 7 main forms of cyber fraud, namely online purchases, non-existent loans, online investments, Macau scams, African scams, business email compromise, and SMS fraud. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri has arrived in Abu Dhabi for a 4-day working visit to the United Arab Emirates, UAE, beginning Monday. The plane carrying the Prime Minister and his delegation touched down at the Abu Dhabi International Airport at 8:25 a.m. local time. When we come back, Typhoon Nori leaves 6 people dead in the Philippines. This and more right after this breather. The Yang di-Perdana Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah on Monday officially opened the 8th ASEAN Traditional Textile Symposium 2022, which saw the participation of more than 300 textile artists. The king was accompanied by Raja Permaisuri Agong Tunku Hajah Azizah Aminah Maimunah Iskandaria and Regent of Pahang Tunku Hassanel Ibrahim Alam Shah. Al-Sultan Abdullah hoped that the biennial symposium would continue to be held in other countries in the future and bring together textile artists from ASEAN and other regions to share information on the uniqueness of their textiles. The symposium, organized by Yayasan Tenun Pahang Diraja, showcases the beauty of Malaysian textiles, including sangket and batik, as well as the techniques of textile making, such as tekat, tenun, telepuk, and menggerus for the world community to learn. 19 working papers will also be presented by 13 countries, including Brunei, Indonesia, Cambodia, Canada, India, the Philippines, and Myanmar, mainly to discuss the preservation of the art and sustainability of original woven textiles in the ASEAN region.
Raja Permaisuri has been very busy with a commitment to make sure that this symposium will be a success one. I have to share with you that I could see the amount of stress that she had to undergo, and she sometimes couldn't sleep at night while I dozed off very early.
The Queen, who is the founder and patron of Yayasan Tenun Pahang Diraja, also thanked the government for its efforts in supporting and preserving the textile craft. The event is being held in Putrajaya from September 25th to 30th. The Public Accounts Committee, PAC, on Monday unanimously agreed to launch proceedings into the Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency, MMEA's purchase of Offshore Patrol Vessels, OPV. PAC Chairman Wong Kah-Woh said the committee will call up the Home Ministry and the MMEA for clarification on the delay in delivery of the OPV. Wong said aside from the two parties, the Finance Ministry and the company awarded the contract to build the vessels would also be summoned to appear before the committee. He added that the date and time for the proceedings would be set and announced soon. Wong also said the proceedings on the issue were in line with the powers granted to the committee under Standing Order 77-1-D of the Dewan Rakyat Standing Orders. The MMEA, in a statement on September 13th, said 3 OPVs, which should have been received by the agency in 2020, were still under construction. Its Director General Maritime Admiral Datuk Muhammad Zubil Matsom, in the same statement, said the OPVs were being built by a local company, THHE Destiny Sdn Bhd, which is located in Pulau Indah, Selangor. On September 15th, Prime Minister Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said the PAC had the right to call up any government department or agency for clarification on the delay in delivering the 3 vessels. The government business facilitation agencies should continue assisting the micro, small and medium enterprises, MSMEs, in sustaining their post-pandemic recovery. Finance Minister Datuk Sri Tengku Zafrul Abdul Aziz said this is important as Malaysia is expected to face challenges in the fourth quarter of the year and into 2023 due to external factors.
Ekoran perang di Ukraine yang berterusan, prinsip COVID-19 sifar di China, pendekatan US Federal Reserve dalam menaikkan kadar faedah bagi menangani inflasi dan juga gangguan rantaian bekalan. Jadi, sebagai pemudah cara sektor perniagaan, agensi seperti CGC dan SJPP harus bersiap sedia bagi terus membantu PMKS dalam mempertahankan pemulihan yang telah dicapai pasca pandemik.
The minister was speaking during a signing ceremony between CIMB Bank and CIMB Islamic Bank with Syarikat Jaminan Pembiayaan Perniagaan and Credit Guarantee Corporation Malaysia Berhad. As such, the Budget 2023 will focus on creating a conducive business environment and achieving high competitiveness through innovative technology adoption, as well as enhancing people's welfare and workforce among local MSMEs. The overcrowding issue at the maternity wards in government hospitals is seasonal due to an increase in births from September to November each year. Health Minister Khairy Jamaluddin said, based on the ministry's statistics, the increase in births will peak in October and the trend occurs nationwide, causing a shortage of hospital beds at nearly all public healthcare facilities.
Memang kalau kita lihat ada ini fakta, bukan alasan tapi fakta. Kalau kita lihat trend bilangan kelahiran setiap tahun bukan saja tahun ini, dia akan meningkat bermula pada bulan September hingga November. Apa sebabnya? Dia fikirlah. Tak memang musim. Ini fakta dia, bukan saya mereka.
Kari said this to reporters at the Tanjung Karang Hospital project handover ceremony on Monday. Previously, it was reported that several government hospitals were experiencing overcapacity at the maternity wards, with some pregnant mothers having to wait days for a hospital bed. He added, due to this, his ministry has taken measures to improve the management of hospital beds at these wards, as well as to increase the number of health personnel to carry out low-risk deliveries and expedite the discharge of low-risk maternity patients. On the new Tanjung Karang Hospital, which is the second minor specialist hospital in Selangor with 150 beds, he said that it will be fully operational on October 10th and would benefit more than 350,000 residents. Chief of Defence Force General Tan Sri Afendi Buang on Monday launched the National Military Strategy, SKN 2.0. The publication of SKN 2.0 is to support the country's defence aspirations and to ensure that the Malaysian Armed Force, MAF, are always on track.
Kini kita berhadapan dengan ketidaktentuan keadaan lanskap keselamatan geostrategik dan geopolitik serantau serta global yang semakin kompleks dan dinamik. Di dalam situasi ini, pelbagai ancaman baru boleh datang dengan pelbagai cara, yang antaranya melalui peperangan hybrid, dan seharusnya kita semua merasa khawatir tentang keadaan ini.
He said this in a speech at the 89th MAF Day Parade at Kuantan Air Base on Monday. The combat parade and aerial demonstration attracted nearly 15,000 visitors who came to witness the MAF's prowess in carrying out hostage rescue operations and facing enemy threats, as well as the assets of the 3 MAF branches, which included fighter jets, helicopters, armored vehicles, and a multiple rocket launcher system that were on display in the parade area. Among the highlights of the event was the very first air attack simulation, which showcased the proficiency of the MAF pilots. In Selangor, a housewife pleaded not guilty at the Shah Alam Magistrates Court on Monday to a charge of lodging a false police report against an institution owned by a non-governmental organisation, NGO. 45-year-old Zuraina Zamri claimed trial after the charge was read out to her before Magistrate Muhammad Reza Asarizali. The accused was alleged to have made the false written report to a policeman at the Taman Sri Muda police station in Section 25 Petaling on August 21st this year. The charge, framed under the Penal Code, provides a maximum jail term of 6 months or a fine of up to 2,000 ringgit or both upon conviction. The court allowed her bail of 2,000 ringgit in one surety and ordered her to refrain from issuing media statements, which could affect the proceedings. The court then fixed November 15th for mention. Earlier, Shah Alam Police Chief ACP Muhammad Iqbal Ibrahim in a statement said the woman had lodged a report alleging that her son, who was a trainee at a madrasah, had been beaten, punched and hit on the head by its warden, and that she wanted to take him out of the place. It was understood that her son had been sent to the center for 4 months to undergo a drug rehabilitation program. On August 23rd, the complainant's son lodged a police report that he was not beaten by the madrasah authority, but 2 days later he made another report to say that he was beaten. Further examinations conducted on the victim at Shah Alam Hospital showed that there were no injuries on him. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob has arrived in Abu Dhabi for a 4-day working visit to the United Arab Emirates UAE beginning Monday. The plane carrying the Prime Minister and his delegation touched down at the Abu Dhabi International Airport at 8:25 a.m. local time. The Prime Minister was received by UAE Minister of Energy and Infrastructure Suhail Mohammed Al Mazrui, UAE's Ambassador to Malaysia Khalid Ghanim Mohammed Al Gaith, and Malaysian Deputy Foreign Minister Datuk Kamaruddin Jaafar. Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri will kick off his stay by visiting the Abu Dhabi National Oil Company, ADNOC, where the key focus is on the potential collaboration between ADNOC and Malaysia's Petronas in oil and gas as well as renewable energy. In the evening, the Prime Minister is scheduled to have an audience with UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan at the Presidential Palace in Abu Dhabi. This will be the first meeting between the two leaders since Sheikh Mohammed's appointment as the new President of the UAE on May 14th. High on the agenda of discussion between the two leaders is to explore potential areas of cooperation to further strengthen the long-standing and multifaceted cooperation between Malaysia and the UAE. On Tuesday, the Prime Minister is scheduled to witness the exchange of a Memorandum of Understanding between Ranhill Utilities and Abu Dhabi Future Energy Company, PJSC Masdar. When we come back, Typhoon Nori leaves 6 people dead in the Philippines. This and more right after this breather. One of the contemporary Muslim world's foremost scholars, Yusuf alKaradawi, has passed away at the age of 96 on Monday, leaving behind a rich legacy of writings that have become a reference for Muslims worldwide. The death was announced by the International Union of Muslim Scholars, but the cause of death was not immediately known. Qaradawi was often described as the spiritual leader of the Muslim Brotherhood, the pan-Islamic socio-political movement that inspired the short-lived Egyptian revolution in 2011. In 2009, the Malaysian government presented him with the Tokoh Mal-Hijrah Award, which recognizes personalities for their services in conjunction with the Islamic New Year. The strongest typhoon to hit the Philippines this year left at least 6 people dead after heavy rain and fierce winds battered the country's most populous island. Authorities on Monday said amongst the dead were 5 rescuers who were killed after they were sent to help flooded residents in San Miguel municipality near the capital, Manila. The bodies of the 5 rescue workers killed have been recovered in the country's northern Buletin province, according to Richard Gordon, chair of the Philippines Red Cross. He said landslides were expected in more rural and mountainous regions, adding to the fear of further casualties. Meanwhile, an elderly man died after he was hit by a landslide in Bordeos municipality on the Pelila Islands, part of Quezon province, where the storm made landfall. Nori smashed into the archipelago nation on Sunday, making landfall about 100 kilometers northeast of Manila, before weakening to a typhoon as it crossed a mountain range, coconut plantations, and rice fields. The death toll after a man opened fire at a school in central Russia has risen to 15 people, including 11 children. The shooting took place in Izhevsk, a city located around 1,000 kilometers east of Moscow. Investigators have said 2 security guards and 2 teachers were among the victims, while the attacker committed suicide. He was later identified as a local man born in 1988 who graduated from the school. Russian President Vladimir Putin denounced the inhuman terrorist attack, adding that the shooter apparently belongs to a neo-fascist group. The region's governor, Alexander Belikov, declared a period of mourning in the region to last until Thursday. The motive for the shooting is unclear. Giorgia Meloni has claimed victory in Italy's election and is on course to become the country's first female prime minister. Addressing the media and supporters in the early hours of Monday morning, Meloni said it was a night of pride and redemption. According to the Italian Interior Ministry, preliminary results put an alliance of far-right parties, led by Meloni's ultra-conservative Brothers of Italy party, on track to win at least 44% of the vote. With 63% of votes counted, the Brothers of Italy party had won at least 26%, with coalition partners, the League, led by Matteo Salvini, taking around 9%, and Silvio Berlusconi Forza's Italia scoring over 8%. Final results are expected later Monday, but it's expected to take weeks for a new government to be formed.
Ad avere un'assistenza decente serve.
Sports. Alexander Kovacevic advanced to the last 16 at the Korea Open in Seoul, following a straight sets win over Miomir Kecmanovic on Monday. American Kovacevic was only playing in the first round as a lucky loser in Seoul after he was beaten in the final round of qualifying, but he grasped his chance by winning 6-4, 6-4. The 24-year-old served 14 aces and broke the world number 32 3 times to set up a second-round meeting with Christopher O'Connell or Tsung Chun Sin for a place in the quarterfinals. Still on tennis. Brandon Nakashima beat former NCAA champion Marcos Giron in the San Diego Open singles final, an all-thought Southern California matchup between two friends who are also frequent practice partners. The fifth seed Nakashima won 6-4, 6-4. The San Diego finale was also ATP's fourth final this year, featuring 2 American players. Nakashima is projected to move up to number 48 in the ATP World Rankings with the win. Up next, Tan Sri Shafie denies Datuk Sri Najib getting special treatment. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Datuk Sri Muhammad Najib Tun Razak's counsel, Tan Sri Muhammad Shafie Abdullah, on Monday denied the allegation that the former Prime Minister received special treatment for his medical condition. He said his client was being treated like any other prisoner, and the idea that Datuk Sri Najib was given a first-class room at the Kuala Lumpur Hospital of the Cheras Rehabilitation Hospital, HRC, was not true. Tan Sri Shafie also said Datuk Sri Najib only received special treatment in terms of food, as he could not eat spicy and oily food due to ulcer. The lawyer added that the family was not allowed to provide food to the former Prime Minister due to the need to monitor his diet in relation to his health condition. He further said that Datuk Sri Najib's blood pressure was still high and that the prison authorities were monitoring his client's diet. On August 23rd this year, Datuk Sri Najib was sent to Kajang Prison after the federal court upheld his conviction and sentence of 12 years jail and 210 million ringgit fine for misappropriating 42 million ringgit of SRC International Sdn Bhd funds. The prisons department later informed the Kuala Lumpur High Court that it had ordered for Datuk Sri Najib to be taken to hospital for treatment on September 12th, as his health condition was unsatisfactory. In Johor, a married couple and 3 men, all locals believed to be involved in a drug trafficking syndicate, were arrested in 4 simultaneous raids in Johor Bahru and Iskandar Puteri on September 23rd. State Police Chief Datuk Kamaruzaman Mamat said 21.16 kilograms of marijuana and 784 grams of methamphetamine worth about 67,000 ringgit were also seized in the operation. He added that police have found that the syndicate has been active since March this year. 3 of the suspects tested positive for ganja and ketamine, and checks also showed 3 of them had previous records related to drugs and crime. Police are currently investigating the source of the drugs, believed to have smuggled from a neighboring country. All the suspects, aged between 22 to 32, have been remanded for 6 days from September 24th to assist investigation under the Dangerous Drugs Act. Soccer players, including Portugal's Luis Figo, flew on a zero-gravity parabolic flight on Tuesday, breaking Guinness records as they played a game of football. Let's take a look at the game as we wrap up Nightline this time around. And with that, I'm Liyana Hassanel. Thank you for watching and have a pleasant weekend.